Beyond luck, beyond coincidence, God actively shields women from harm. Today, let's uncover the 8 powerful signs that reveal you might be walking under His divine protection. Good morning/afternoon/evening, everyone. Today, we're exploring a topic that speaks to the heart of faith and security. How can we recognize when God is actively protecting a woman from those who might seek to harm, deceive, or discourage her, from what we might call evil people? In a world where challenges and negative influences exist, the assurance of divine protection is a profound comfort. This protection isn't always a loud, dramatic intervention. Often, it's a series of subtle, consistent signs that God's hand is upon a woman's life, guarding her path. It stems from His love and faithfulness, often nurtured by her own faith and reliance on Him. Let's delve into 8 potential signs that indicate a woman is under God's special protection. A strong sense of inner peace amidst turmoil. One of the most powerful signs is experiencing unexplainable peace even when facing hostility, manipulation, or threatening situations. While others might expect fear or anxiety, she feels a deep calm. This is the peace that surpasses understanding, Philippians 4 verse 7, a direct gift from God, acting as a shield against the emotional and spiritual attacks of others. Heightened spiritual discernment. God often grants a protected woman keen intuition or discernment. She might feel a check in her spirit, an unease, or a clear red flag about a person or situation, even when everything looks fine on the surface. This isn't mere suspicion. It's a God-given insight helping her recognize deception and avoid potentially harmful relationships or involvements. Consistent frustration of ill intent. Have you ever seen someone try repeatedly to undermine, slander, or harm a woman, only for their plans to mysteriously fall apart? Tools break, communication fails, lies get exposed unexpectedly. This isn't just coincidence. It can be a sign of divine intervention actively thwarting the efforts of those with evil intentions. God is disrupting their plans to protect His child. Unexpected detours and closed doors. Sometimes, protection looks like disappointment. A job offer falls through, a relationship suddenly ends, a planned trip gets canceled. Only later does she realize this closed door steered her away from a dangerous person, a toxic environment, or a compromising situation she couldn't foresee. God redirects her path for her safety. Guidance through wise counsel and warnings. God rarely works in isolation. He often uses trusted, godly people, friends, family, mentors, or spiritual leaders, to offer timely warnings or wise advice that confirms her own unease or reveals a hidden danger. He places watchmen in her life. Aversion to ungodly associations. A woman protected by God often finds herself naturally drawing away from people or groups whose lifestyles, values, or intentions conflict with godly principles. She may lose interest in certain friendships or feel uncomfortable in specific environments, guided away from influences that could lead her astray or expose her to harm. Resilience and quick recovery. When attacks or negative encounters do happen, as protection doesn't mean immunity from all trials, a sign of God's hand is her remarkable resilience. She isn't easily crushed or permanently embittered. Instead, she finds strength, learns, heals, and bounces back with her faith intact, often stronger than before. God sustains her through the fire. Favor and unexpected allies. In situations where someone tries to isolate or attack her, God can raise up unexpected defenders or allies. People may step forward to support her, speak truth on her behalf, or offer help seemingly out of nowhere. This divine favor acts as a countermeasure against malicious actions. Let's ignite a fire within us as we unpack something absolutely fundamental, something that acts as the unshakable bedrock beneath the feet of a woman walking through a world that often throws shadows and challenges her way. We're talking about the foundation of faith, the very source from which divine protection flows. Understand this: God's protection isn't some cosmic lottery ticket you might randomly win. It's not arbitrary. It's deeply, profoundly linked to a personal, vibrant, living connection with the divine. It emanates from a relationship intentionally cultivated, rooted in unwavering faith, consistent prayer, and an active seeking of His guidance. This isn't about religion in the dusty, obligation-filled sense. It's about relationship in the powerful, life-altering sense. Think of faith not as a passive acknowledgement of a distant deity, but as an active, dynamic trust. It's the choice to lean your entire weight on something invisible yet more real than the ground beneath you. It's looking at the storms of life, the manipulations of people, the whispers of doubt, and declaring, "My God is bigger." This kind of faith isn't born in comfort. It's forged in the fires of trial and tested in the face of opposition. It's the unwavering belief that even when you cannot see the path, the one who guides you holds the map and the light. This active trust becomes a spiritual shield. When negativity, deceit, or ill intentions come your way, faith doesn't necessarily make them disappear, but it changes you. It reinforces your inner core, making you less susceptible to manipulation, less likely to be swayed by fear, less vulnerable to the darkness others might try to cast upon you. It's the deep knowing that you are anchored to something unmovable, something eternal. This potent faith is nurtured within the context of a personal relationship. Protection flows from connection. Imagine a loving parent instinctively shielding their child. That protection stems from deep love, intimate knowledge, and constant presence. Similarly, divine protection is most powerfully experienced when a woman cultivates that intimate connection with her Creator. It's about moving beyond knowing about God to truly knowing God, sharing your hopes, your fears, your triumphs, your failures. It's being authentic and vulnerable in His presence. This relationship transforms faith from an abstract concept into a lived reality. God isn't just a protector in theory. He becomes your protector, intimately aware of your specific struggles, your unique vulnerabilities, and the precise nature of the threats you face. He knows your name, He knows your heart, and His protection is tailored to you because He is connected to you. How is this connection built and maintained? Through the powerhouse of prayer. Prayer is not merely reciting words or presenting a wish list. It's the active dialogue within that relationship. It's the lifeline, the communication channel where faith is expressed, trust is declared, and guidance is sought. It's where you invite God's presence into the details of your life, including your need for safety and discernment. Consistent prayer keeps that connection vibrant and strong. It's like breathing spiritually, essential for life and strength. When you pray, you are actively engaging the protective power of the Almighty. You are acknowledging your dependence and welcoming His intervention. It's in prayer that spiritual defenses are fortified, that clarity is gained, and that the peace guarding your heart and mind is replenished. It's actively pulling down divine resources to stand against whatever darkness seeks to encroach. And within that prayerful dialogue comes the crucial element of seeking His guidance. A foundation of faith involves the humility to admit we don't always know the right way. Seeking God's guidance is actively listening for His direction. Through His Word, through inner promptings of the Holy Spirit, through godly counsel, through the opening and closing of doors in your circumstances. It's choosing His wisdom over worldly advice or your own potentially flawed understanding. When you prioritize His guidance, you are essentially asking Him to lead you around dangers you cannot see. You are allowing Him to be your navigator through treacherous waters. Following that guidance, even when it seems counterintuitive, is a profound act of faith that often results in being steered clear of harmful people, toxic situations, or devastating mistakes. It's trusting that His vantage point is higher, His knowledge deeper. This proactive seeking and obeying is what allows divine protection to manifest as course corrections, averted disasters, and paths cleared of unseen snares. It demonstrates that your trust isn't just passive belief, but active reliance on His leadership for your safety and well-being. This synergy, unwavering faith, nurtured through personal relationship, activated by prayer, and directed by seeking His guidance, creates an incredibly strong foundation, a spiritual fortress against which the schemes of ill-intentioned people often break apart. It is the bedrock upon which a woman can stand firm, secure in the knowledge that she is seen, known, loved, and fiercely protected by the one who holds all power. Imagine navigating a world filled with noise, conflicting messages, and people whose true intentions are often hidden behind masks. In such a world, how do you find clarity? How do you sidestep the pitfalls laid by deception or avoid the subtle traps set by those who might wish you harm? There exists within you, often granted as a profound gift of divine protection, an inner compass, a spiritual radar far more sophisticated than mere gut instinct. This is spiritual discernment. It's an extraordinary inner sense, a God-given intuition sharpened to perceive what lies beneath the surface. It's the ability to see beyond the facade, to feel the truth even when words try to obscure it, to recognize the resonance of authenticity or the jarring note of falsehood. This isn't just guesswork. It's insight flowing directly from a connection with the divine, designed specifically to safeguard your path. Think of it as having spiritual eyes and ears that perceive dimensions others miss. While the world might be captivated by charisma, charmed by eloquent lies, or convinced by carefully constructed appearances, spiritual discernment allows you to feel the undercurrent. It's that quiet yet firm check in your spirit when something seems off, even if you can't immediately pinpoint why. It's that unshakable feeling of peace about walking away from an opportunity that looks golden on paper but feels wrong deep within your soul. It's the sudden clarity about someone's character, cutting through their practiced performance to see the reality of their motives. God, in His desire to protect you, often activates this inner awareness system. He doesn't always shout warnings from the heavens. Sometimes He whispers truths directly to your spirit, equipping you to navigate treacherous social or professional landscapes with wisdom. This divine intuition is particularly crucial when dealing with potential deception or hidden motives. People who operate with ill intent are often masters of disguise. They might flatter, manipulate, or feign friendship to gain trust and advantage. Spiritual discernment acts like an X-ray, penetrating these layers of pretense. It helps you detect insincerity in a smile, sense the manipulation behind a seemingly generous offer, or recognize the envy masked by compliments. It's the internal alarm that sounds when someone's words don't align with their spirit, or when a situation feels subtly exploitative or dangerous. This isn't about becoming cynical or suspicious of everyone. It's about having a finely tuned instrument that helps you distinguish between genuine connections and potentially harmful entanglements. It empowers you to make wiser choices about who you trust, who you allow into your inner circle, and what situations you engage with. Furthermore, this discernment extends beyond people to situations and environments. You might feel a strong urge to leave a place, avoid a certain street, or decline an invitation for reasons you can't logically articulate. Trusting that inner sense, that nudge from the Spirit, can be a direct act of cooperating with God's protective plan for you. How many times have people later realized that listening to that inexplicable feeling of unease saved them from accident, theft, or worse? This is discernment in action. God providing advance warning, guiding your steps away from unseen danger. It requires cultivating stillness amidst the chaos of life, learning to listen to that quiet inner voice, and having the courage to heed its counsel even when external pressures push you in a different direction. It's a spiritual muscle that grows stronger with use, sharpened through prayer and a conscious effort to stay attuned to God's frequency. When you honor these inner promptings, you validate the divine guidance system within you, making it even clearer and more reliable over time. This God-given ability to perceive truth, detect danger, and navigate complexity with wisdom is one of the most powerful forms of protection available, allowing you to walk with confidence and security, knowing you are equipped to recognize and avoid the snares set by those who operate in darkness. Step into the awareness that the universe is not merely a stage for random events, especially when you walk in connection with the divine. There is an active, potent force at play, a loving intelligence that engages directly with the circumstances of your life, particularly for your protection. This is the realm of divine intervention and redirection, where God Himself steps into the fray, altering events in ways that defy simple explanation. It's where His protection becomes tangible, not just as a feeling, but as observable phenomena that safeguard you from harm, often without you even realizing the danger you were in. This isn't passive shielding. It's active engagement by the Creator on behalf of His cherished child. Consider first the power of divine intervention, where God specifically thwarts the plans of those who harbor ill intent towards you. Have you ever witnessed or heard of situations where someone set out to deceive, slander, or cause direct harm, only to have their efforts mysteriously and utterly frustrated? Perhaps crucial technology failed at the exact wrong moment for them, preventing a malicious message from being sent. Maybe lines of communication broke down, stopping collaboration on a scheme against you. Perhaps a key piece of false evidence was inexplicably lost or discredited just before it could be used. Or maybe the person intending harm faced a sudden, unexpected personal crisis or delay that completely derailed their focus and capability. These aren't mere coincidences or strokes of bad luck for the perpetrator. See them for what they often are: God-running interference. He builds invisible walls, jams harmful signals, and dismantles destructive plots before they can reach you. You might be going about your day, completely unaware that a spiritual battle was fought and won on your behalf, an attack deflected by the sovereign hand of God actively intervening to ensure your safety and peace. Recognizing this possibility fosters a profound sense of security, knowing that even when unseen dangers lurk, an unseen guardian is actively working to neutralize threats. Then there is the equally powerful, though sometimes initially confusing, phenomenon of divine redirection. This is where God alters your path, guiding you away from harm not by stopping the external threat, but by steering you onto a different course altogether. This often manifests as unexpected detours, closed doors, or seeming setbacks. A job opportunity you desperately wanted might vanish, only for you to later discover the toxic environment or unethical practices you narrowly avoided. A relationship might end abruptly, causing temporary pain, but ultimately saving you from years of heartache or abuse with someone whose character was flawed in ways you couldn't yet see. A canceled flight, a sudden change of plans, even taking a wrong turn. These frustrating moments can be God's loving hand gently, or sometimes forcefully, rerouting you away from an accident, a dangerous encounter, or a situation designed to trap you. It requires immense faith to see a closed door not as rejection, but as protection. It demands trust to believe that a confusing detour is actually a divine shortcut away from disaster. This form of protection asks you to surrender your own limited understanding and trust God's infinitely higher perspective. He sees the hidden pitfalls, the ambushes laid out on the path you thought you should take, and He lovingly redirects you, even if it feels uncomfortable or disappointing at the time. Look back on your life. Can you identify moments where a no was actually a profound act of grace? Where a change of plans saved you from something you only recognized in hindsight? That is divine redirection, a testament to His intricate care. Embracing this perspective transforms setbacks into evidence of His watchful guidance, building resilience and unwavering trust in His sovereign plan, knowing He is always working to lead you towards safety and purpose, even when the path forward seems unclear. Imagine the world outside pressing in, the noise of negativity, the sharp edges of criticism, the looming shadows of potential threats, or the outright hostility from those who misunderstand or oppose you. In the face of such external pressure, the natural human response is often anxiety, fear, turmoil, or a desire to crumble. Yet, there exists a profound and powerful indicator of divine protection that operates not by changing the external circumstances, but by transforming your internal reality. This is the potent combination of inner peace and resilience. It's that unshakable calm deep within your soul, that defiant strength that allows you to stand firm, even when the storms rage around you. Recognizing this within yourself or observing it in another is like seeing God's own signature written upon the human spirit, a clear sign that His hand is providing shelter. Let's first embrace the miracle of inner peace. This isn't mere quietness or the absence of thought. It's a deep, abiding sense of tranquility and well-being that anchors your soul, even amidst chaos. It's the peace the Scriptures speak of, the kind that surpasses all understanding, meaning it doesn't make logical sense given the situation. Threats may loom, people may gossip or plot, circumstances may seem dire, yet deep within, there's a stillness, a core of serenity that remains untouched. This is a hallmark of divine protection because it signifies God Himself guarding your heart and mind. External attacks aim to destabilize, to inject fear and anxiety, to disrupt your inner equilibrium. When profound peace persists despite these attacks, it's evidence that God has erected an internal sanctuary, a shield around your emotional and spiritual core that negativity cannot penetrate. This peace isn't passive, it's powerful. It allows for clear thinking, wise decision-making, and a refusal to react out of fear, which are themselves vital forms of protection against making rash choices or falling prey to manipulation. It's the quiet confidence that whispers, God is in control, even when the world screams otherwise. Complementing this peace is the incredible gift of resilience. Resilience is more than just toughness. It's the God-given capacity to bend without breaking, to face adversity head-on and bounce back, often stronger and wiser than before. When negativity comes, when attacks are launched, when setbacks occur, resilience is that inner fortitude that refuses to be crushed. It's the ability to absorb shocks, process pain without becoming permanently bitter, and rise again with hope intact. Think of it as spiritual shock absorbers combined with a divinely reinforced spine. This resilience is a critical sign of God's protection because it demonstrates His sustaining power within the trial. While He sometimes removes threats, intervention, or guides us around them, redirection, other times He protects us by infusing us with the strength to endure and overcome them. The goal of those acting with ill intent is often to break your spirit, to discourage you, to make you give up. When, by God's grace, you exhibit resilience, when you refuse to stay down, refuse to let bitterness take root, refuse to abandon your purpose, their weapons fail to achieve their ultimate aim. God protects your spirit, your hope, and your forward momentum by gifting you the strength to persevere. This resilience becomes a powerful testimony, showing the world that your foundation is not built on shifting circumstances but on the unshakable rock of God's faithfulness. It's His strength made perfect in your weakness, a living demonstration that you are upheld by a power greater than any opposition you face. Cultivating and recognizing this peace and resilience is acknowledging the active presence of God's protective embrace, a force that stabilizes your soul and empowers you to navigate life's challenges not just with endurance, but with a quiet, defiant, and hopeful strength. So, as we draw these thoughts together, let's hold on to the vital truth weaving through all these signs. From the bedrock foundation of faith that connects us personally to our protector, to the sharp spiritual discernment He grants us like an inner compass navigating us away from deception. From His powerful, active intervention and redirection that thwarts harm and guides our steps, often in mysterious ways, to the profound inner peace and resilience He builds within us, that unshakable fortress that withstands external storms. These are all reflections of God's active, loving care. These signs aren't just abstract concepts. They are tangible evidences, sometimes subtle whispers and other times undeniable demonstrations of His faithfulness. They remind us that in a world with challenges, especially those posed by negativity or ill intentions, we are not left defenseless. God desires to protect His daughters, to guard their hearts, their minds, and their paths. Let us, therefore, be encouraged to cultivate that deep relationship with Him, to listen attentively for His guidance, to recognize His protective hand when plans against us falter or when unexpected detours lead us to safety. Let us cherish and nurture the peace He gives and draw strength from the resilience He supplies. May we walk forward from this place today with renewed confidence, not solely in our own awareness, but in the steadfast love and sovereign power of our divine protector, knowing that He is constantly watching over us. Thank you all so very much for your time, your presence, and your thoughtful attention here today in Faisalabad. It has been truly meaningful to share these reflections with you. May you go forward feeling encouraged, blessed, and ever more aware of God's constant watchful care in every step of your lives. Thank you.